Hey, what's up guys? So I wanted to take some time here and talk about a little bit of a sleeper pick that I've noticed has a really high win rate right now, and that's Misfortune. So I was doing some investigating to try and see who's strong right now, who are some kind of good picks that nobody's really using, and I noticed Misfortune right now has the third highest win rate on any AD carry for patch 7.11. But she's not really getting played very much by a lot of people. She's picked in about 4% of games, which is really low, especially considering right now Caitlyn, who's the most played AD carry, is played in almost 35% of games. And being an old Misfortune main, I really wanted to dig in to see why she's so strong right now and why she has a really high success rate. So her being played in so few games, yet having a really high win rate, shows that the people who are playing her are usually the Misfortune mains, and they're doing something right that's causing them to win more than half of their games. And I think the reasoning here is that even though Misfortune is fairly easy to play, she's not a high mechanically skilled champion like some other AD carries are. She has the ability to win a whole team fight and a whole game by herself with just one good ult. And coming from experience, having these game-changing ults is something that just comes with playing Misfortune a lot and putting a lot of time into the champion, knowing when to hold your ult and when to actually use it. And I think Misfortune is a great AD carry for new AD carry players to learn, and also a really great AD carry for solo queue. In solo queue, there's not a lot of vision, especially at lower ranks, so it's easy for you to hide behind a wall, wait for a fight to break out in the jungle, and to have just a 5-man ult that just decimates the whole team. And when played correctly in laning phase, she is one of the best early game AD carries out there right now, but that does take some time of getting used to her Q bounce, knowing when to use it, and using it most efficiently. And I've said it before in my other videos, and I'll say it again, that I think having a strong early laning phase is very important to climbing in solo queue. So with these factors here, I think these are the main essential components as to why she's so strong right now and why she's so successful, even though there haven't been any changes to her recently. And there has been one factor that has changed recently, and I do want to go over that here, and that's her build right now. So there's two ways that you can build Misfortune right now that seem to be having success, and both of these builds seem to be doing very well. So the main build that people are using, which is still the old Misfortune build that people were using last season, and that's Ghostblade into Duskblade into Black Cleaver, and so that's still having a lot of success even though there's been a lot of lethality nerfs. And the other build is a typical crit build on Misfortune. I do it a little bit differently than what other people have been doing, but I want to share what I've been doing because I've been having a lot of success on it lately. So I've been going Essence Reaver into Static Shiv into Infinity Edge. And if you've watched my Caitlyn video or my Lucian video, I go over why Static Shiv is so popular and so good right now, and I think it's just a really strong item for crit users. There's just so much upfront burst with that item, especially if you crit on it, and if you have that Infinity Edge, it just does insane amounts of damage, and that works very well with Misfortune. So even if your ult is down, you can still do a lot of upfront burst damage to almost anybody with that Static Shiv, as well as your passive. And a lot of people forget that Misfortune's ult can actually crit. So if you're building crit and have a high crit chance, your ult's just going to shred through almost anybody, whether they're a tank or they're a squishy. So to round off this build, I like to go Last Whisper or Black Cleaver, depending on the game, depending on how many tanks they have. If they have a lot more tanks, I'll usually go Black Cleaver to try and shred through that. If they don't, I'll get a Last Whisper so I can still do penetration damage to anybody on their team. And I'll usually get a Mercurial Scimitar or a GA as a last item, which is pretty standard on almost any crit AD carry right now. So if anybody is looking for a good, easy AD carry to win a lot of games with, I highly recommend learning Misfortune. I've had a lot of success on her in the past, especially when I was first learning AD carry. She's really easy to play, has a lot of impact on the game, and you can carry games with her. You just need to put a little bit of time into her to figure out her laning phase and how to be dominant in that, and then also how to set up your ults so you can have the maximum potential. So all in all, I think Misfortune is a really good pick right now, especially at lower levels when you don't get punished as easily. And the stats are showing it right now. She has a really high win rate. She has a low pick rate right now, so it does show that she needs some mastering before you can get to that higher win rate. But she's worth it. She's worth putting that time into it. And as always, if you've made it this far in the video, I really do appreciate you sticking around. And I hope you have a great rest of your day.